What if I told you all these sales gurus, all these guys that you guys listen to and worship and read their books, what if I told you they're all full of shit? What if I told you the very advice they're giving you, especially concerning objections, is absolute garbage? Would you believe me? I hope not. I hope that you would at least listen to what I have to say, and then you would put it into practice and you would test it against what they say. And the reason I say that, guys, I'm never going to ask you to trust me. I'm never going to ask you to just believe me, because if you believe me, you're going to believe them. And if you're going to believe them, you're going to believe the next guy. And you're going to find yourself 20 years from now not knowing what the hell you're doing. You learn to critically think. Don't trust what I'm saying here, but I want you to listen to this. And if it resonates with you, I ask you to test it against what they're saying, okay? And this is what I want to share. I want to talk about objections really quick, and I want to talk about what they say and what I say and what I've seen that works and what they say that works, even though they don't make their money selling, they make their money promoting. But anyway, let's not go there yet. Here's what they say, and maybe you guys have heard some of these things, and I've heard a lot of these things too, okay? I've heard things like, the sale starts when the customer objects. Okay, I've heard that. I've also heard, it takes 7 no's to get to a yes. You guys have probably heard that too, right? And on and on and on. Or the customer says they got to think about it. You say this thing, or you say this cute little one-liner, or you go back in for the... Guys, so pathetic. Let me tell you this. No matter what you're selling, whether it's hot dogs, whether it's water bottles, tissues, I don't care what you're selling. There will always be objections, okay? And the cool part is those objections are typically the same. They're like almost identical no matter what you're selling. This is from somebody who's actually done sales, okay, for 10 years. They're almost always the same. And they're always there. You're never going to have an experience where you're going to avoid objections, okay? Whether it happens during the pre-close when you're just talking, happens during the close, or it happens after you've closed and they start complaining about stuff that you should have covered, the objections are going to come up. So the question I would ask you is, if you know the objections are going to come up, why not overcome the objection on your terms? Why not play offense instead of sitting on your ass and playing defense? Because what I'm here to tell you is that if you will, instead of thinking, how can I overcome the objection when they object, think about it like this and think, I know they're going to object. How do I eliminate the objection? How do I bring up the objection on my terms, the way that I want to talk about it when people are excited to do business with me? I bring it up beforehand and overcome the objection. If you can start thinking about it as elimination of objections instead of overcoming objections, you guys are going to see yourself closing way more deals, okay? And you're going to see your closes, the actual closes themselves are going to be much easier to close because you don't have to go through a slew of objections, okay? Here's what I do. Every time I get on a sales call, I know if I'm getting that deal because before I get on that sales call, I have listed every potential objection and I have overcome that objection, whether it's with a text, whether it's with a story, whether it's with a conversation on the phone, whether it's with my pre-closed screencast. If you guys don't know what that is, get in the Facebook group and search that in the group. I overcome my objections. I eliminate my objections. I don't wait for them to come so that I can overcome them, okay? Eliminate, overcome. Offense versus defense, okay? And I'm not asking you to believe me. I'm not. In fact, I don't want you to believe me. I want you that's listening, I want you to test out what I'm asking you to test out, and I want you to test it out against what all of them, the old advice of when the customer objects, when they say they got to talk to their spouse, you need to say this: nope. I'm going to bring it up first, and I'm going to make sure they don't need to talk to their spouse. And if they do, I'm going to get their ass on the call. I'm going to bring it up first. I'm going to make sure that I've overcome the objection of trust. I'm going to make sure they trust me before I even get on that call, because if I do that, I know I'm getting the deal. Guys, stop playing defense. Stop sitting on your ass. Play offense. Go after the objection. If you know the objection's coming, why not go after it on your terms? I've been doing this how I got to $100,000 a month in an 8-month period, in 2020. Okay, this is exactly what I do on every single deal, no matter what I'm selling, is I list the objections, I think of a creative way to overcome it, and then a little bonus tip is think of a story of how one of your other customers had the same objection and how they overcame it in their head. And guys, you will start closing deals much more rapidly. You will start closing deals at a much higher percentage, and you will find that when you get on these sales calls, it's going to be a much smoother, more casual, easier, more exciting call, and it doesn't need to be this big, huge ordeal where you're going to battle with these people. The deal should already be closed, guys. The close, Mr. Dan B right here. Whoop, there's the book. Mr. Dan B said it himself. The close is in the setup, my friends. That's it.